Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. What's pumping in the market? A little bit of everything. A little bit of everything's going up. I mean, like Bitcoin is kind of leading the charge right now, but Solana is actually doing pretty good right now as well, as you can see. XRP is doing okay. It's at 209%. Avalanche is doing really good. So a lot of the altcoins are actually recovering very well. We still haven't reclaimed that 256 level, which we're looking to reclaim, but the market is indeed moving up nice. So every day the supply is running low for Levi. Listen, the more that all of these XRP ETFs accumulate, the more XRP they all accumulate, the lower the XRP supply is going to be, which means the higher of a likelihood that we're going to see a supply shock. According to my calculations, roughly 70% of the total XRP supply is now just being held. And so if we can get that to 90 or 95% or even more, which I do think is a possibility during the next bull run, then I do think there's a very high likelihood that XRP will be going to some really high prices that a lot of you guys will be surprised by and very happy about. Now, I understand that a lot of you guys are impatient because, you know, when you zoom out a little bit, you look at the chart, like, yeah, I get it. You know, it wasn't even just like a month and a half ago that XRP was, you know, almost at $3 right here. So, like, I understand where you guys are coming from. I get it. But, you know, you gotta play the long game, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you wonderful people. Everyday supply is running low for Levi. Yeah, read that one. Greetings from Romania. How you doing? When we dropped from 230 a week ago, I set a limit of 185. Working out great now. That's awesome, man. Good job. Yeah, I guess you would have been able to get it. Yeah, good job, man. See, that's what I'm saying, you know? If you just look to actually buy those dips and you consistently do that, I mean, you're going to be sitting really good right now. So that's what I love to see. Lol, he said next to bull run, facepalm. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think that's going to be starting in 2026. So if you can't wait a few months, you know, maybe you don't deserve to get rich, man. But no harm, no foul. I wish you the best. It's the way it goes, you know. 90% of people in crypto lose. This is player versus player, guys. PvP combat. Okay. Weren't you preaching a crash last week? Now it's buy the dips. I've always said to buy the dips. I was talking about the fact that we're in a bear market because we've declined a certain percentage from our all-time high. Yeah. But I mean, just don't look at things black and white like that, dude. Like, you grab one piece of what I say and then completely misrepresent it. I've said I think we're in a bear market. I think there's a high probability that we're going to close lower. But what I'm saying is, as these XRP ETFs continue to accumulate, which they'll need to do over the course of many months, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be like a flip the switch moment. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be over many months. Once they get the supply low enough and there's enough liquidity coming into the markets, the price will absolutely explode. And it's just a matter of waiting that out. Okay? Context is really important. It's not black and white like some 20 IQ people will have you to believe, like, oh, it's either bear market all the time but price go down all the time, or it's bull market all the time and price go up all the time. Like, no, that's not how it works. We have bull markets, we have bear markets, we have corrective periods, we have periods of time where the price goes up. If your brain can't fathom the idea that there are bear markets and bull markets, I don't know what to say to you guys. Truthfully. It's a bear market still, yes. And for any of you guys who are saying it's not a bear market, just look up the definition of a bear market. Look it up. Like, most of you guys don't even know the definition of a bear market, and you have the audacity to criticize me. Like, man. What about the tiger market? Yeah, maybe we need to make up some new words. It's not a bear market yet. You know what, dude? I'm not even gonna talk to people anymore who like literally can't even look up the definition of a word. Like, you don't even know what a bear market is. How am I supposed to take you seriously? But we didn't have a bull market either. XRP going up 10x in price is not a bull market? Okay. You guys got to be trolling me. There's no way you guys are serious. Okay. That's just unbelievable. That's unbelievable. You guys need to go to the stock market and just spend 10 years investing in the stock market and then come back and tell me that an asset going up 10x in price is not a bull market. It's like, you gotta be trolling. There's no way on God's green earth that you are serious. That's insane. That's insane. Sorry guys. Anyways, let's focus on the people that actually got a brain. Shout out to Crude Coin Foundation. I can see that you're a critical thinker. Much love. He's trolling, bro. I hope so. I genuinely hope so, because there are unironically people that are like that, and there's a lot of them, unironically. What's a good price for spot for XRP? You know, honestly, I think anything below $2 is a great, buy. I still do think there is a possibility that we go below $1 per coin at our absolute lowest, and like, I don't know exactly when that's gonna happen, but if we do follow previous price patterns, we should realistically bottom out sometime in 2026. I personally believe earlier on in 2026. And then once we get all the liquidity from the money printer, the new Fed chair coming in, and all that wonderful stuff, then we go up. But yeah, I mean, a large part as to what is causing this price action is the new Fed chair was actually leaked. And so when the new Fed chair comes in, he's going to be very dovish. He's going to be very pro rate cuts, and he's very likely to start quantitative easing very, very quickly after he's brought in. And, the Trump administration has also strategically been removing Fed chairs that are currently there on the board and replacing them with people that want to cut rates too. So I do think there's a very high probability that after May, when the new Fed chair comes in, we're going to get rate cuts. Quantitative easing will be happening. Trump will be issuing the stimulus mid-2026. And then I think that will give us enough liquidity towards the XRP ETFs and, of course, just general retail investors to create that supply shock dynamic. Now, things rarely ever play out exactly as we expect them to, but all of those conditions very closely align with 2020, 2021 during that bull market. And so I do think that's where we're going to see the majority of the price action is mid to late 2026. Of course, pending any delays, right? It's always possible we get some delays. So that's yeah. This is a dead cat bounce. Yeah, we're still very bearish, guys, until once again we break and hold above 256. That's one thing to keep in mind, guys. Until we break and hold above 256, we're still very bearish. But yeah, if we set those higher lows, or higher highs, and higher lows, then it's possible things turn around. But I don't think it's extremely likely still. I'm still thinking that we're going to be in the bear market here for a little while longer, guys. But once again, if we do break past 256, we hold above that, we keep slowly climbing our way back up. Yeah, it's very possible that we flip bullish, but I just don't think it's likely yet. I think it's going to take some more time. Long-term trend is bearish, yes, but if you're into scalping, then yeah, that's true. That is very true. There are going to be a lot of great swing trading opportunities and scalping opportunities. I don't tend to scalp that much, but I do swing trade a lot, and there's gonna be a lot of opportunities here very soon. I'm basically just waiting for us to bottom out off of this this rally here, which our bottom support right now is at about 211. So I do expect us to go around that level soon. And I'll actually probably go long then. Even though we're in a bear market, I'm probably going to go long at 211 because I do think there's a good possibility that we rebound back up to 220 level again, and with a little bit of leverage, that's a good trade. So I'm going to look for that. Those are the ones that will lose. They have no understanding of crypto and just think we will become millionaires overnight. Just doesn't work that way. You only lose when you sell or overstretch. Yeah, that's true. And honestly, if you sell off of like a 10x move or a 5x move, like you're still winning, man. If you were able to 5x your money over the course of 1 year, like that's a huge win. I don't care what anyone says. Like, yes, and like what you could do if you're still wanting to hold long term, like say your average entry for XRP was 40 cents, right? And then XRP pumps up to $3.50, right? Which happened over the course of like a few months. Like that was very quick that happened. Let's say that happens, right? You could literally just sell your initial, right? You could sell your initial. Like let's say you put in $10,000 at 40 cents, just take $10,000 out when it hits 350, right? Or $3, whatever. And then the other, like, I don't know, like $50,000 or whatever that you still have or more, you just chill with that, dude. Like that's just your house money now. You just hold that long term. You can do whatever you want with that, right? There's no losing in that scenario. Because if you think that long term XRP is going to go to $100 per coin, that's going to 10x again in price or whatever, right? So or maybe even 50x, you never know. Yeah, I mean, that's how I play the game. Okay, that's what I do. That's how I've been successful. I play on house money, guys. I dollar cost average during the bear market. I get those low entries when I think everything's undervalued and people are panicking, max fear or whatever, right? I buy then. And bull market, I just play on house money, guys. It's really that easy after our big rally. If you do that every single bull and bear market, I mean, you're winning no matter what, truthfully. XRP could go to $0 tomorrow. Worst case, never think that's going to ever happen, period. But like, it could happen and you'd still be fine. I did that. 256%. Now I buy indicators with house money. Nice, man. You'd love to hear it. I mean, no reason not to, right? You literally mitigate all of your risk. You never regret anything. Even if XRP goes down 90% from its peak, you're never going to regret anything, right? You just buy more on the 90% dip. Boom. And then, yeah, you can still think long-term. You can still hold long-term. If you still have that long-term vision, boom, great. If XRP goes on a massive discount, boom, great. You get to buy the dip. I mean, it's just the way. This is what people need to learn, right? But the unfortunate reality is most people in the crypto space don't get involved until like the middle to tail end of the actual bull market. So like most people's average entry for XRP is not going to be 50 cents. It's not going to be 40 cents because by the time XRP is hitting that price, they've already panic sold and then they've lost all faith in crypto, right? Because they're letting these institutions manipulate their minds. But they're actually accumulating at $2.60, 80 cents, $3 because they think, oh, it was at $3 now. It must be going to $20 in like a couple of months. You got in at 81 cents last November. Good job. That's great. So you got in at the start of the bull run. Congratulations. It's really good. It's really good. Will I ever move to the United States of America? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm very well suited for the US, but it's also like it's difficult to move with my family, right? Because I have a baby boy, I have my wife. We would have to completely shift over, our life. I'd want to move to a place where I feel safe for my family. Don't need to worry about, certain things happening. Definitely something that, I want to do, but it's also pretty complicated to get done. Argentina is my next move. Argentina, yeah, that's a good place. I would advise you reach in. Oh yeah, Puerto Rico. I actually have a friend that lives in Puerto Rico, and he really loves it. He says it's like he's the happiest he's ever been there. I think he grew up in Ohio, but then yeah, he moved to Puerto Rico, and I mean the taxes there are really nice and low, and he just really loves the food there and the culture. Don't bother, the US is cooked. It's a little concerning, some of the stuff that I see sometimes in the US. I won't lie, like a lot of like the gun stuff. But maybe that stuff's overblown. I just like that sort of stuff just doesn't happen where I live, so I don't know. It just concerns me, especially having a kid, like if it was just me, I wouldn't really care at all, but having a kid, it makes me worried. For sure. I just never want to have to think about that, we all have different places on the planet that we need to be when we are needed. That's true. Levi, hang tight because Alberta might become a state of the US. True. Yeah, we're going to be the next Texas. Levi, hang tight because Alberta, yeah. Put your kid in a private school. Yeah, that's what I would do for sure. If I were to do it 100% private school, I'd have to do that just for my own peace of mind with like proper security. And yeah, homeschool is something I've been thinking about a lot too. I just want my son to have like a social life and all of that. So that's important. Canada has gotten pretty bad over the last 9 years. That's true. It really has. A lot of countries have gone downhill big time. I mean, the Canadian economy hasn't actually seen real GDP growth over the last 10 years, which is insane considering how much immigration we've had and how much our population has grown and all of that. But like all of our top industries really haven't been growing. And you can attribute that to many things, but it's just unfortunate to see no matter what way you look at it. If you have money, you will not be in places where crime happens. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I just don't know the US super well. But yeah, I mean, I've heard that, Not just Alberta, take BC too. Am I anti-gun? Absolutely not. No. I think everyone should have the right to bear arms. I'm not anti-gun. It's just like when you hear about some of the things like that happen with schools in the US, for example, it's just concerning to me. I have a friend that lives in the US and like his cousin was at a school when one of those things happened and she's no longer with us. And like I hear about those things and it's just like it's completely heartbreaking. But by no means am I anti like gun or anything like that. It's just I have a child, and so I got to be extra responsible for that child. And those things just concern me. I need to know exactly what I'm getting into and the best place to be, and Why is crypto pumping? The crypto market's pretty excited off of the news of the new Fed chair. It was leaked who the new Fed chair is going to be, and so the market's pretty excited about that because they realize that this person is actually very pro rate cuts, essentially. And so the markets are starting to price in additional rate cuts coming into 2026. I do think this is going to be a short-lived pump. I don't see any reason for this pump to go like to extreme lengths, like Bitcoin going past 95K or whatever by any means. But I do think that, you know, we're going to find our new local top here, and then we're probably going to get a decent sell-off, and things will keep going from there. Also, because it is, you know, Thanksgiving and all that, and a lot of companies are not actively operating right now in the crypto space, institutions. This is mostly all retail driven again, this price action, which is completely understandable. So we'll see when institutions are back in action next week what this is going to look like. Is there going to be a sell-off this weekend? Maybe. Is there going to be a sell-off next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? I think more likely we see it by then, but we don't know for sure. You know, the markets have surprised us many times before. Levi is anti-Taco Bell. That's actually facts. I am anti-Taco Bell. In fact, I am anti-fast food, man. I am anti-fast food. Fast food is so bad for you. It's literal poison. All these seed oils and, you know, all of the, like, the immense amounts of sodium that they put in everything gives you heart problems. You know, it's just, it's so bad. All the fat that they put in it, like way too much trans fats, for example, and saturated fats. Like, I am anti-fast food, man. I am anti-fast food. And that accounts for Taco Bell too, because Taco Bell, I mean, should look at what they put in those things. Look at the nutritional facts, man. I'm never voting in the US again. I voted for Trump, a big letdown. Yeah, I mean, I feel like people expected a lot more from Trump than they should have. You know, I was optimistic. I don't think he's necessarily done a horrible job by any means. I do think that it's a lot more of the same of what his previous term was like. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Price of fast food isn't worth it either. Facts. It's overpriced now too, and you're literally paying someone else to poison you. Like, when else would you pay someone else to poison you? It's literal poison, guys. It's just a slow death. Might as well just be smoking cigarettes if you're gonna go eat fast food. I read that Ripple plans on releasing 1 billion tokens next month. Do you think that will affect the price? I read that Ripple... no, it never really has. Normally they lock it all back into escrow. Maybe they'll use a little bit for liquidity for Hidden Road or something like that. But that's just liquidity purposes. They're not going to like dump it on the market or anything. Trump is doing way more in this term than last so far. That's true. He signed a lot more executive orders and all that kind of stuff. That's true. If XRP goes down again, how low do you think it will go? If XRP goes down again, how low do I think it'll go? I do think we're going to go to about 211, 212, 211, where our bottom support is. We're going to touch it eventually. I'll start sizing in a little bit on my futures trades once we start getting down to those levels, and kind of taking things from there. Taco Bell doesn't serve meat, they serve raccoon ankles. Yeah, I'm very suspicious of what that meat is. Did you guys hear about Campbell's? Campbell's serving 3D printed meat. One of the top Campbell's executives said, I would never serve this to my family. Like, we're literally serving people 3D printed meat. You know, like, it's just insane. Like, people are eating this crap, man. It's not even real food. It's like a arts and craft project. Yeah, never eat the packaged garbage on any level. Yeah, dude, like, I don't trust any of these guys. I just go to like my local butcher and farmers, and I only get stuff that I absolutely know what's in it. I'm not eating this packaged crap ever. And even most stuff that's served at Costco isn't what they say it is. Like, the extra virgin olive oil at Costco isn't extra virgin olive oil. It is literally a bunch of seed oils mixed into one container. When you actually have real olive oil, you'll know the difference. Don't drink or have Costco olive oil. Look it up. You guys can look it up. It's been proven. People have tested Costco's olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. It's not actually olive oil. You can literally look it up. There's been studies done on it. It has to be good olive oil, and that's actually really, really good for you. It's one of the best things you can do, but it's crazy that you can buy things that you think is something and it's not that at all, too. That's like another thing. You need to go back to local farmers markets. Yeah, where I am, there's a lot, so I'm really lucky. Support local farms, 100%. Kirkland olive oil is good. It's not. It's not. This is what I'm saying. It's not good. You have to look into that. It is not real olive oil. I've gotten like actual authentic award-winning olive oil from Italy. It's amazing. Like it actually tastes like olives. It's insane. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like people believe Kirkland extra virgin olive oil is actually good. It's not. It's not even olive oil. That's the one I'm talking about that have done tests on it. I promise you. I was just as shocked when I first learned about it too. You need to look into it. Eat olives. Yeah, olives are good for you too. When it comes to olive oil, you got to get the North African olive oil. I haven't tried North African. I've had some award-winning stuff from like Italy and Greece. Yeah, Greece is really good too. I can see info. Yeah, I think Greece and Italy have some of the best olive oil for sure. Yeah. Would you eat XRP if you could? If so, what do you think it would taste like? That's a great question. I feel like XRP would taste like an Oreo cookie. You know? The Gochia Doro? Yeah, I think that's the one. Let me see. Let me see. Oh no, that's not it. Let me see. I think it's Carapelli. So it looks like we're facing a lot of resistance here at what was it that we got right here? 225. Looks like this rally might kind of end off here. I expect a correction down to 211. Now I'm going to look for an entry at 211. Yeah. I'm going to expect a correction to 211 over the next day and a half to 2 days. I'm going to keep a close eye on it, though. And then once this rally ends, then we're going to go ahead and get in. What we can see, though, is, our top resistance right here is at 228, 229. So it is possible we go to 229 before we test our bottom here at around 212. So we'll see what happens there. Yeah, like it's possible we go below $2.12 too. I see some people are saying that. Moon boys are yelling, "Shake is right." Yeah, it's honestly kind of funny. Like at this point, I just kind of laugh every time I see it. I've stopped even caring. You look at like the 1 day chart, and we get a little bounce like this, and people are like freaking out. There's literally people on X right now that are saying altcoin season. Like this is the chart on the 1 day. And people are saying altcoin season. It's the most hilarious thing, dude. man. Some soda is the worst thing you can. Oh yeah, dude. And even juice, even juice like apple juice with all the pulp removed is not good for you because all of the fibers, which helps your body properly metabolize the sugar, are gone. You should be drinking smoothies. You need to have the fibers from the apple or the fruit. That's what allows you to properly digest the food in a way that allows your body to properly metabolize everything. It's really unhealthy to drink juice or pops. That's why people are getting diabetes in America, man. It's all this sugar. Retail is beyond desperate, and that is why they won't make it. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of desperation in the space for sure. That's okay. You know, people. I think the people that need to wake up and the people that need to, or that will, you know, have the ability to like open their eyes and see the truth, they will. The other people that don't want to see the truth and want to keep living in dreamland, they'll keep doing that. That's okay. I think like everyone is exactly where they need to be at any given point in their life. Maybe some people genuinely need to believe in a false reality in order to give themselves comfort. And if people like that want to dislike me because I say something they don't want to hear, that's okay. I just hope that one day they're in a place in their life where they no longer need to live a false reality, and then they can see what I was saying and it actually helps them in some way. That's what I genuinely hope for. And if not, that's completely okay too. I'm not gonna be hung up over it. I just know that I'm gonna say what I know is to be the truth based off of the information that I have, and I'm gonna keep implementing strategies that have continued to work great for me. And the people that want to listen, great. The people that don't want to listen, great. That's completely okay. But yeah, I mean, 2.77% up on the day. That's nice. That's completely okay. YouTubers definitely do not help them. Yeah, I think like it's like the car salesman. You know what I mean? Like a used car salesman will literally tell you anything you want to hear to make the sale. And I don't think that I think that a lot of YouTubers are basically used car salesmen. Like they will tell you anything you want to hear so that they can make money off of you. And they have a bunch of different ways to do that. Some people sell courses, some people do custody for XRP, some people do other stuff, you know? It's like Jim Cramer, yeah. True. Could we hit $3 today? Is it possible? Definitely not. It would take an absolute miracle for that to happen. It's definitely not happening today. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. There's like a 99% chance that's not happening today. Hi from Scotland. Hi from Scotland. If alt season has been here already and the top was November to January, then isn't it strange that XRP didn't get previous bull run highs, especially after all the good news and legal clarity? Well, we surpassed our previous bull run high. So it's not really strange at all. This was our previous bull run high. Just want to make sure you can see this. You see this right here? Yeah, XRP went to $1.89, the previous bull run high. $1.89, right? So to answer your question, we absolutely have smashed our previous all-time high during the last bull run. You know, obviously 365, quite a bit higher than $1.89. Now, if you're talking about like the 2017 rally, that was a freak show scenario because of the supply shock that we had, right? So that's not a really good basis, because XRP was completely running out of supply and the price for like a split second shot up and hit an insane price that absolutely nobody could sell at because there was a complete supply shock on the price of XRP. So you got to compare this to 2021 and not 2017. To answer your question though, I do think it's very likely that we will be surpassing our 2017 highs in 2026 though. 2027 maybe. People call XRP maxis crazy, but at the same time, I'm just connecting the dots. What sort of dots? you're referring to 2017? Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I guess I kind of answered that towards the end. I hope that that helped you out, bro. The Duke says, Garling House 2028. What did I teach you? What? Wait, what? Jake Garlinghouse 2028? What does that mean? Last I checked, I think Claver still thinks that XRP is going to hit $100 per coin by the end of this year. I think he just made that prediction yesterday. Really interesting stuff. But as a whole, the entire crypto space needs clarity, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's important that we have clarity for sure. I think like we've obviously made a lot of groundwork in when it comes to clarity. Obviously, it's not exactly where it needs to be, but you know it's official. Like banks can now custody crypto. That's been passed. We have, of course, clarity with XRP not being a security. When is the Clarity Act being passed? The Clarity Act? That's a good question. It says early 2026. Yeah, it says early 2026. A full Senate vote is anticipated in early 2026. Is what they say. And so if we do get the Clarity Act passed before the Trump tariff dividends, I do think that's a really good sign. Also before the Fed gets, the current Fed chair gets removed, Jerome Powell gets removed. If we can get it passed before that, I think we're going to be in prime condition. Trump said by Thanksgiving. Did he really? I don't know why he says some things. I'm going to be honest, because like there's nothing that supports that. Thankfully, I've followed your more realistic outcome predictions. Are you listening to YouTube? Not financial advice, just good people trying to educate other good people. Sorry, I don't know what you're asking. Are you listening YouTube? What do you mean by that, Jim Brown? But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that you enjoy my content and that you've been listening and you're thankful for that. That means a lot to me. Yeah. Yep. I mean, it was always going to be that way with stablecoins, Crude Coin Foundation. And I think, like, yeah, it kind of sucks. But there's two ways to look at it, too. Like, crypto was always supposed to be decentralized and always supposed to be, like, an alternative system to fiat currency, right? Like, that's all true. But, I think that ship's kind of sailed. I mean, like retail was basically begging for these ETFs for so long, and now they're looking at these ETFs as these massive catalysts. And so I feel like institutions are so deeply entrenched now into crypto. Like you look at like MicroStrategy and you look at BlackRock and you look at Grayscale, like it's just been hijacked. So we might as well just roll with the punches now. Yeah, I think anyways. I don't think there's much we can do about it at this point. Do you futures trade any other coins? I only focus on XRP, but you know, I might start looking at Bitcoin a little bit more. It's Bitcoin's a little bit less volatile, so there's less upside potential there, but it's also less risky. So there is some good potential there. What is RLUSD doing? Is anyone using it? Yeah, absolutely. It's growing slowly, and RLUSD is going to be a really important part of Hidden Road and these other acquisitions that Ripple is making. Levi, the algorithm has been on an absolute terror lately, suppressing not only crypto media, but even the Lex Friedman podcast last night. Wow, really? Yeah, nobody's safe from this, man. It's insane. They like keep incrementally beating all of you guys' videos, if not just blocking him. It's ridiculous. Yeah, that's insane. It's insane. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous that they still allow these AI systems to moderate their platform after they have gotten so much negative feedback. I mean, like, all I'm seeing on X right now is just people bashing YouTube for their completely bogus moderation with their AI system falsely flagging people's content and removing channels or striking people and suspending channels. People are like talking about lawsuits and all this crazy stuff, and there's still problems. You know, like stop the AI moderation, remove the strikes. Like, you guys are saying that you're committed to actually properly supporting creators, then properly support them. Get actual humans. I mean, you're like a multi-trillion-dollar company, for goodness sakes. How can a multi-trillion-dollar company not afford to have real humans? Just from the ad split from my channel alone, on the ad revenue for this channel, I could afford to employ 10 customer service reps, real humans. Not even to mention Lex Friedman. I mean, that guy makes hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month off YouTube. Levi, I'm not trying to spam chat, but I really want to know. Can you please explain how Bitcoin went from 100 to 100K? What made that happen? Sorry, I'm only 12 months in this game. Yeah, it's a good question. So you got to look at how large Bitcoin was when it was at $100 per coin, right? You got to look at its market capitalization to understand that. So what was Bitcoin's market cap when it was $100 per coin? I mean, it was in the millions of dollars, right? Let me just ask AI because I'm not getting a proper answer here. Yeah. So yeah, the market cap of Bitcoin when it was $100 per coin was about $1 billion, right? Today, Bitcoin's market cap, that can't be right. Well, now it's in the multiple trillions of dollars. So it didn't just do like a 100x, it did like 1,000. Yeah. So yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, so when Bitcoin was $100 per coin, its market cap was about $1 billion, right? Today, Bitcoin's market cap is multiple trillions. I believe it's like, what, 2 trillion? So if an asset grows from, 1 billion to multiple trillions, it does like a 1000x or 2000x in value, it's going to, of course, explode in price. Now, I do think it's possible for XRP to be a multi-trillion-dollar market cap, but it's going to take a long time for that to happen. And right now we have to remember that XRP's market cap is, let's go to the market cap for XRP. It's in the hundreds of billions right now, and it's at $2, right? So yeah, the market cap for XRP, what does it say here? Yeah, it's 134 billion right now. So obviously a lot more than 1 billion, already 100x the size of Bitcoin when it was at $100 per coin. A lot of people, the reason why I say this, guys, is because a lot of people, they don't understand how a larger circulating supply for an asset will diminish its per dollar value, even if the size of that asset in terms of market capitalization is larger. And so just because Bitcoin went from $100 to $100,000 does not mean that XRP can go from $2 to $100,000 per coin, right? Because for XRP to be at $100,000 per coin, it's quite literally going to be the largest asset in the world, worth, I mean, hundreds of trillions, if not, hundreds of trillions of dollars at that point, right? And so, like, it's possible for XRP to hit $100, $1,000, $10,000, even in extreme case scenarios. but it becomes increasingly unlikely. And I don't think it's possible in today's world for XRP to get to $100,000 per coin. It's just impossible because there's not enough liquidity and capital that exists in the world to make that happen. So XRP doesn't need market cap, it runs off of liquidity. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. I literally just explained this. It's like you don't even listen to anything I say. You hear the word market cap, and then everything else that I say is like completely out of your mind. But if they keep printing, yeah, I mean, if like the money printer stays on and we print, you know, $1 quadrillion, every single asset can hit, you know, insane prices. God candle. Yeah, look at this God candle, guys. Alt season. That's funny. If XRP captures just a small percentage of Swift volume, it'll be in the hundreds. It would have to capture actually a decent percentage of Swift volume to be in the hundreds of dollars per coin. It wouldn't just be like 5%. It'd have to be like closer to like 25%. Thanks for you answering. Appreciate you, man. My pleasure. Is H-bar dead or just sleeping? H-bar? It's not dead. A lot of people saying it's dead. I mean, it's almost at 15 cents per coin. Not even just a couple of days ago, it was at 12 cents, right? Do the math, it's 10%. Okay. I was talking about hundreds of dollars per coin, not like 100 on the dot. But yeah, I believe you. 10% for 100, I think is accurate. Yeah. Friends, did you manage to buy the... Nope. Out of here, loser. I got FOMO with H-bar. DCA is 0.33. I'm terrible at this. Oh. It's okay. I mean, you have a chance to get in lower, right? Levi, are you buying all this supply shock talk? It depends which talk we're referring to. The people that say we're going to hit $100 by the end of the year, not buying it at all. But I do think over the course of 2026, we have a really good chance of seeing some kind of supply shock and having XRP go above $10 per coin. Yeah. How do you have a supply shock when ETFs are buying OTC? Yeah, it's a good question. Some ETFs will not be buying OTC, and so the one thing I think is when the dark pools run out, then there's the possibility they start buying from the market. But that does require a lot of inflows and basically no outflows, right? So we'll see what happens. ZBCN will settle the microtransactions, and XRP will handle the closing end of the settlement. I don't know much about ZBCN, but I don't see any reason why XRP can't do it all. Wait for a big candle to come in for XRP this week. Hey man, I'd love to see it. But I don't think we're gonna be breaking $3 or $100 like some people are saying. I'm in the red with H-bar. Should I just wait or take the loss? Free up funds. Sorry, I'm new to this. I mean, I honestly, like, if I were you, I'll just ask myself, how long am I willing to wait? If you're willing to wait a year, you know, just wait it out. At this point, if like your average entry is like 35 cents, that's what I would do anyways. I would just wait it out. No point. Well, we're close to break $100 on Kraken. Yeah, got me there. Yeah, we broke $100 on Kraken, guys, for XRP with the price glitch. I wish I could have just sold my XRP at $100 then. That would have been sweet. Man, but that would have been fucking that would have been crazy if I could have sold. Buy more DCA to get average entry down. Buy more DCA to get average entry down. Yeah, that's right. If you can lower your average entry, that's a great thing, right? You know, the BlackRock can jump in for XRP at any moment. Yeah. Yeah. I think they will. Eventually. I mean, it'd be silly for them not to, I think. It's kind of strange that they didn't yet, with like their top competitors doing it. The Duke says, who came up with the multiplier effect for XRP? What did I teach you? I don't know who talked about that multiplier effect. Imagine having a spot order open at 155 and a sell order at $90, right? That would be some serious money right there. Look, little 50x. Let's get it. Yes and no. BlackRock owns Grayscale and Grayscale owns BlackRock. Yeah, true. I guess that's technically true. Yeah, when you actually look at all of the companies that BlackRock, Van Eck, and State Street own, it's like they have like a majority stake in like 90% of the S&P 500. Like let that sink in. That's insane, right? BlackRock, State Street, and Van Eck. Like these guys just have a complete monopoly over every single company. And they also have stakes in each other's companies. They have so much influence and power over the markets. It's insane. Larry Fink keeps talking about tokenization of all world assets. I don't think you all know how huge XRP will be. And don't forget Clarity Act and Ripple bank license. The only thing that's weird about that is like, why hasn't Larry Fink or BlackRock launched an XRP ETF if they so heavily believe in using the XRPL for the tokenization of real world assets, you know? I think they might have different plans in mind. And so I think it's important as the XRP army for us to not rely on that speculation too much. Like we could look at like the perfect case scenarios, or we can look at what we have and look at keep building out what makes sense for our community, you know? But yeah, that's just what I think. Thanks, Levi. I mean, yeah, that's just what I think. I think they're holding some of the XRP escrow. I think they're holding some of the XRP escrow, Levi. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they always lock it back up unless they like need it for some kind of liquidity deal. Timing is everything. They said they're waiting for the Clarity Act. Yeah. Does BlackRock even hold any XRP? I think they have some, but it's hard to say for sure with all the misinformation that goes around about that stuff. Question: I started investing into crypto in late July. Very new to the space. Been buying the dips since, well, until 2 weeks ago. In hindsight, it would have been better to stay stable in and buy the bottom. Honestly, if you can, like in my opinion, if I could continue to buy the dips, if we're going to continuously trade lower for a little while here, I would be doing that. And just keep lowering my average entry. As long as I can lower my average entry, I will, basically. If we go below $1, like I think we will, as long as I'm buying on the way down consistently and lowering my average entry every single time, and maybe loading up more aggressively the lower we go, like using a weighted approach like that, I'll be in a really good position the next time the bull run really takes off again. So that's what I would be doing here. Nobody knows exactly where we're going to bottom out, so trying to like perfectly time the bottom with all of your capital is never going to work out for you. Instead, you know, just consistently dollar cost averaging in off of the bigger dips, and then maybe doing higher weighted buys the lower we go, I think is probably the best strategy. Got to get rid of the Federal Reserve. Centralized banks the problem. Yeah, fair enough. There was an older video that specifically stated that no currency will operate outside of government control, meaning Bitcoin is under attack. Interesting. Do you genuinely believe we're going below $1? I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. Every single previous bull market correction saw XRP go down 90% or more in price. Why would this time be any different? And people will say, oh, this time will be different because of the ETFs. This time will be different because we have more institutional involvement. This time will be different because there's more retail, whatever, right? But we also have to remember that retail is extremely easily manipulated, and if there is enough outflows from these ETFs, that could cause a significant amount of price depreciation too. Now, I don't think we're going to go down as much from our peak that we did the previous bull run. I think it's going to be less than that, but yeah, I do think there's a pretty good reasonable possibility that we could go below $1 at our absolute bottom when things really kind of bottom out. Because there's nothing that really tells me it shouldn't be the case. How low do you think BTC goes from here? I think we bottom out at between like 60 to 65K. Donald J. Trump told me personally XRP will go to the moon. Let's go. My prediction, 5 to 12 USD this year. This year. Interesting. So like 2025. Very interesting. Some of you guys got some crazy predictions. I definitely think it's going to happen in 2026 pronto. And if I had to guess, it would be like second quarter 2026. That's my guess. And then after we hit that bottom pronto, I think it's going to be an explosive rise back up. It's going to happen very quick, maybe within 1 to 2 quarters following the bottom. But if I had to guess, it's second quarter 2026. That's going to happen. Maybe first quarter 2026. Might be in for a surprise. I'd love to be surprised. Either way, I'll be good. I'll be buying the dips either way. So, worst case, I'm good. Best case, I'm even better. You know? Nothing to be upset about. That's just my opinion. That's what I think will happen based off of previous cycles. Everyone's welcome to think differently. I'm happy with $3. I think that's reasonable. I don't think it's going to happen by the end of the year, though, Starlight. I do think it's going to happen at least 6 months. It's going to take at least 6 months, probably a little bit longer. But that's still fine. It's more time to buy the dip. Every paycheck, you know, that's what I'm doing, guys. Every single time I get some money, I'm putting some in, right? And so if I get 8 months of being able to put some money in every single paycheck, that just means I make a lot more in the bull run. This is what you guys need to understand, right? You shouldn't want XRP to go to $100 per coin tomorrow, because you're not going to have the potential to accumulate XRP for 8 months every single paycheck if that happens, right? Like, that's the difference between you making $1 million now or like $100 million in 8 months. Like, what are you going to choose, right? Personally, I'm going to choose the $100 million, and I'm going to be okay waiting 8 months. I'll also feel like I earned it at that point, right? They had year and years to accumulate. Levi, that's not a good excuse, man. What are you referring to, Jeff? If you were accumulating during the last bear market, you know, for 12 months during the last bear market in 2023, 24, if you were buying then for those, like that 12-month period of time, every single paycheck, and your average entry was like 40 to 50 cents per XRP, and then XRP went from 40 cents all the way to $3.65, that's incredible. That's insane. You literally almost just 10x your money. So I don't see what your point is. If you have the chance to do that again, now, why wouldn't you take it? Nah, I'm fine. Let it go to 100 and then down to 80 cents. When is the XRP pump starting? I think we're gonna see the true price action mid 2026, just beyond that maybe. But we'll see. I don't even know what you're trying to say, Sage, but shout out to you. I think it's going to be a steady climb until 2030. Interesting. You think we're just going to continuously steadily climb from here? Interesting. I think we're definitely going to bottom out before then, but that's fine. Oh, man. Okay. I have some more stuff to get done, guys. It was really great doing this live stream. Really enjoyed your guys' company today. Make sure you guys all take care of yourself, your family. Enjoy, you know, Thanksgiving. And I'll maybe see you guys tomorrow on another live. But yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure, guys. Nice chat.